the sag for a span of 350 meters if the ultimate tensile strength of the conductor is 5000 kg, factor of safety is 2, weight of the conductor is 0.550 kg per meter. So we need to find out what is the sag of the conductor for the span of 350 meters. He has given ultimate tensile strength and factor of safety. Now, in order to find out that, the formula to find sag, it is given by weight of the conductor W, span length. So it is a L square divided by 8T. So it is a formula to find out the sag. So if we consider the two poles, in between there is a conductor, and this is the span L, and it is the sag what we have to find out. So for this, we know weight of the conductor and span length, and you need to find out the tension in the conductor, so T. So it is a working tension T. It is given by ultimate tensile strength of the conductor, so divided by factor of safety. So from this we can write 5000 ultimate tensile strength of 5000 kg over factor of safety, it is a 2. Then we can write it as a 2500 kg. So T also calculated. Now substituting all values, W, it is a 0.550 kg per meter multiplied by it is a L, span length. So it is a 350 whole square divided by it is a 8. So 8 multiplied by working tension, it is a 2500. So this is what we have done. So it is the actual formula. So in this we have substituted all the values. So now 0.550 into 350 whole square by 8 into 2500. So if you calculate this, you will get 3.368 meters. So you will get in terms of meters. So if you substitute all the units, so finally you will get in terms of meters. So 3.368 meters. This you can write 3.37 meters. So it is the answer. First option is the answer. The insulation resistance of a cable of length 10 kilometers is 1 mega ohm. For a length of 100 kilometers of the same cable, the insulation resistance will be. So insulation resistance for the 10 kilometers he has given as a 1 mega ohm. For the 100 kilometers, what is the insulation resistance of the same cable? Suppose let us consider the cable, single core cable. So it is the conductor, and it is a sheath. Conductor lead, the conductor radius, it is R1, and internal sheath radius, it is R2. So conductor radius, it is R1, and internal sheath radius as a R2. So for this, the insulation resistance of a cable, it is given by rho by 2 pi L, length of the cable, multiplied by log base E R2 by R1. So insulation resistance of a cable is given by rho by 2 pi L log base E R2 by R1. So this relation you can calculate what is the insulation resistance for the length of 100 kilometers. Suppose it is a insulation resistance for the 10 kilometers, let it be R10 by R 100 kilometers. This is equal to L2 by L1. L2 by L1. It is a L2 is 100 kilometers and L1 is 10 kilometers, and R10 it is a 1 mega ohm divided by, so you have to find out resistance for 100 kilometer length of the cable. So from this we can write R10 equal to 10 by 100. So 10 by 100. So it is 0.1 mega ohm. So it is the answer, 0.1 mega ohm. So as the length is increased, insulation resistance of the cable will be reduced, because there is a inversely proportional. Insulation resistance is insulation resistance of a cable is inversely proportional to the length. So insulation resistance for the 100 kilometer length of the cable, it is a 0.1 mega ohm. For the 10 kilometer length of the cable, it is 1 mega ohm. For the 100 kilometer length of the cable, it is a 0.1 mega ohm. So it is the answer. So in a thyroid lightning arrestor, the resistance is, so here the lightning arrestor, it is connected in parallel with the apparatus to be protected. So whenever there is a high magnitude of the current, so it has to be bypassed safely without affecting the device connected. So that's why this thyroid, it has the non-linear resistance property. So non-linear resistance means, so it offers the high resistance for normal currents. So that's why, so it offers the high resistance for low magnitude of currents, and it offers low resistance for high magnitude of current. High magnitude of the current. So it is a safely bypass to the ground. So it is the right answer. So the resistance is high at low current and low at high current. So it should be low when there is a high magnitude of the current occurs. So that's why it has to bypass the high magnitude of the current safely to the ground. So that's why it offers low resistance when there is a high magnitude of the current in the circuit. Distance relay is the best example of. It is a non-unit protection scheme. So because this differential protection scheme is confined to a protection of a unit or a particular equipment. So like generators, transformers in power plant or substation. So this is a differential protection scheme. So it is confined to a particular unit or equipment. So that's why it is also called as a unit protection scheme. So differential protection scheme is confined to the protection of a particular unit or equipment. So that's why it is also called as a unit protection scheme. So distance relay is the best example of non-unit protection scheme. Making capacity of circuit breaker is equal to 2.55 times the symmetrical breaking current. So here 2.55, it is root 2 multiplied by 1.8. Multiplication with the root 2 is to convert symmetrical breaking current into peak value, and multiplication with 1.8 to include doubling effect. So root 2 into 1.8, you will get 2.55. So in order to get the making capacity circuit breaker, you have to multiply 2.55 with the symmetrical breaking current. The propagation constant of a transmission line is 0.15 into 10 power minus 3 plus j 1.5 into 10 power minus 3. So here propagation constant we can write as a alpha plus j beta. Alpha plus j beta propagation constant it is if it is a gamma. Alpha it is a attenuation constant and beta is a phase constant, but we want wavelength of the traveling wave, so it is a lambda. The relation between the lambda and phase constant it is given by beta, which is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda. So this you will get it. So from this you can write lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. 2 pi by beta. So here beta, phase constant 1.5 into 10 power minus 3, and so we have the 2 pi. So then you will get to 2 pi by 1.5 into, so 2 pi by beta. So it is a 1.5 into 10 power minus 3. This question is given in TS CSAT 2019. A short line with a reactance of 20 ohms and negligible resistance operates with a sending end voltage of 132 kV, receiving end voltage of 126 kV. The maximum power that can be transmitted with this voltage profile is about. So we have to find out what is the maximum power transmitted. So he has given, it is a short transmission line, reactance is given, and negligible resistance are equal to 0. He has given sending end voltage and receiving end voltage. So now what is the expression for the real power transmitted over a transmission line? So this is given by P equal to the magnitude of sending end voltage and magnitude of receiving end voltage over magnitude of Z cos of theta minus delta. So where delta is the load angle or torque angle minus cos theta. So this is the real power transmitted over a transmission line. So he has given it is a short transmission line. So for the short transmission line, the ABCD parameters are given as ABCD equal parameters are in matrix form. So these are 1 Z 0 1. So this is true for short transmission line. So from this we can write A equal to D equal to 1 at an angle 0 degrees AD, and B equal to, so B equal to Z. So it is a Z here, it is given by reactance. So we can write this as a Jx, or you can write it as a X at an angle 90 degrees. X at an angle 90 degrees. So this X, so this X at an angle theta degrees, 90 degrees, it is a theta here. You substitute theta in this equation. So substitute theta in this equation, then power transmitted, it is given by P equal to Vs magnitude, VR magnitude over magnitude of Z, it is X cos of theta, it is 90 minus del, 90 minus del minus So cos of 90, it will be 0. Now we can write this as a P equal to Vs magnitude, Vr magnitude divided by x cos of 90 minus delta. So it will be sine delta, sine delta. So this is the power transmitted over a short transmission line. But you have to find out the maximum power transmitted. For the maximum power to be transmitted from this expression, uh, delta should be equal to 90 degrees for the maximum power to be transmitted. Then this equation becomes P equal to Vs magnitude and Vr magnitude divided by x, and sine 90 degrees, it is 1. So this equal to, we have sending end voltage, it is 132 kV multiplied by 126 kV divided by 20 ohms. 20 ohms. So 132 multiplied by 126 divided by 20. So it is 831.6. It is 831.6. It is actually it is in terms of megawatts. Because it is a 132 kV. So 10 power 3, it is a 126 kV. So here 10 power 3. So 10 power 3 into 10 power 3, you will get to 10 power 6. So 831.6 megawatt. So approximately we can write this as a 832 megawatt. 832 megawatt. So second option is correct, 832 megawatt.